Hello everybody, welcome to Electronics for the Rest of Us. So my name's Jay Burder, I'll be your instructor for this module. And thank you for being a part of this experiment, which is this module on the entire Inspire 1A03 course. This is a module that I've taught quite a few times. This is the first time that we've ever tried to do it remotely. So I hope we have everything in place to allow you to be successful. But I mean, the other part is that we're just going to understand that we're going to do the best we can with this, and I think we're going to have quite a bit of fun, and you should have quite a few opportunities to build some neat things by the end of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this module in terms of activities, I'm trying to set this up to be as flexible as possible for you to do this work however you want to do it, whenever you want to do it. So I've sent to you the course, or pardon me, module webpage, and on there are instructions, day-by-day instructions to kind of guide you through everything. I think I'm also going to just create some shorter videos, and this will be one of them, that delivers that content as well. So it might not go into quite as much depth, but it should provide a few pointers here and there. These videos aren't going to be perfect. You might hear my kids in the background arguing over something. This is just the nature of it, and we're gonna just roll with it. All right. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to do a quick introduction to the course, and then we'll wrap it up there. And then I'll come back and then I'll make a new video with every component, and you should see these embedded within your module web page. Okay, so welcome to Electronics for the Rest of Us. So I'm going to go through some of the introductory topics here, and so we'll do a quick welcome introduction. I think I've kind of already done that, so we'll go on to the next part here, which just talk a little bit more about the course outline, and then in the videos to follow, we'll do some introductions to circuits and programming using Arduinos. We'll have you set up your project site at the end of the day 1-2 activity, and you're going to be practicing Markdown as well. So right now in this presentation, we'll cover the first two pieces of this. All right, so about me. So you already know my name. I'm Jay. My background is in Earth and Environmental Sciences, so I completed my PhD here at Mac quite a few years ago, and you know, a lot of the work that I did had to do with electronics and had to do with programming, and so I'm very happy to bring this to the module. My full-time daytime job is Associate Director of Digital Scholarship Services in the library, but I also get to teach on the side, which is really cool. So it's an opportunity for me to you know, still interact with students, and it's a really welcome part of what I get to do in my job here at Mac. Okay, so let's talk about the module outline and the expectations for this module. And so everything that I'm going to talk about here, you'll also find on the module webpage, and I've included a short link here to get you to that homepage, and then you can just click through onto to see the outline. And there are also links to the various different worksheets as well. Okay. So these are the things that we hope that by the end of this module, the competencies that you will have. And so we're hoping that you'll be able to explain, you know, the fundamental concepts, operational principles of circuits, sensors, and actuators, and then apply them to build simple circuits that do some sort of interaction with the surrounding environment. You're going to work quite a bit with the software, like with the code that provides the instructions that allows this device to operate and interact with the environment. You're going to get to be creative. So by the end, I'm going to kind of let you go, and you're going to have close to 2 days to put together a device that is of interest and unique to you. We're going to communicate everything that we do in this module using web pages, and those web pages are going to be built from a very lightweight markup language called Markdown. So you're going to learn how to use that, and that'll come in handy for later purposes, like if you're ever posting on Reddit or Trello or anything like that. Markdown is pretty heavily used. You're going to get the chance to create and edit some files on a GitHub repository. So the GitHub repository is where your content will live, and that content will then feed the web page, and we'll go through how to do all of that. And then by the end, you're going to have a really nice project web page that explains everything that you do, and we're going to make it available for everyone to see the good stuff that you've done. All right, but most importantly, this is a chance for you to try something new and get credit for it. So, I mean, really, and I'll talk about this later, but the number one expectation is that you just try your best and try to learn as much as possible within your own limits. So you're going to come out of here with some practical electronics and programming skills. You won't be an expert by any means, but you will definitely have your toe wet and maybe your whole foot wet by the end. Most of this is going to be hands-on, so you're going to be given challenges to do, and you're going to work through learning by experimenting. And then, like I mentioned at the outset here, we're trying to structure this so that you can learn at your own pace and according to your own preferences. So there's lots of different ways to take in this content. All right, the three main pieces here that we're going to use in this course is, so you're going to be building circuits using an Arduino board, and we'll do the intro to Arduino in a little bit. That's going to be the main way that you build these physical circuits, and then you're going to interact with that Arduino board and give it instructions via the Arduino IDE, and IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. And so this is where you're going to do your programming, so build the code that will operate the devices. And then you want to take everything that you've done, all of your learning and all of the output in terms of the code and maybe any video or photo of what you've done, and you want to document it somewhere. And so we're going to use GitHub to do that, and then we're going to use a special feature of GitHub called GitHub Pages to take your documentation and turn it into a web page by the end. Okay, so the module structure. So we're going to try to do this in a number of different modes. There are going to be some synchronous sessions that we'll do through Microsoft Teams, and I've already added you to a team, and I'll probably add you to a sub-channel very soon after this. And then there is quite a bit of asynchronous working time, so should you prefer to work through it at any time during the day, and even during the allotted time in most cases, you are more than welcome to. But there are a few synchronous sessions, and so at the start of days 1, 2, and 3, I believe we'll have a first meeting at 4 o'clock, and then after that there will be a few times when I've kind of placed you into smaller group chats, so you can interact with some of your peers, bounce off ideas, and you can have somebody there if you have a question you want to ask them instead of asking me. And so here's a table showing how we're going to use the contact hours. So we're going to do the introductory session at 4 o'clock on day 1, which is Tuesday. And then for the most part after that, you're either given working time with support. And so I will be available through Microsoft Teams. We'll have a video that's just running full time. And you'll be able to interact with me via chat, via video. To answer your question. And other times you're going to be put into group breakout sessions. So there's a couple hours where we will have you do that. The rest of the time, you are welcome to work on things at your own pace. And so I'm okay if you want to work ahead on some items. So if you want to, put your time in earlier on in the day and then just check in during the allocated time to meet, that's quite okay with me. All right, in terms of deliverables, so you have a number of deliverables here, and they're all going to come together on your project web page that you'll make by the end. So there's a day 1 reflection, and you're asked to embed a photo in there. Full instructions are provided in your worksheet. Day 2, you're going to build some more complex circuits, and you're going to upload your code for that. And then the last 2 days, you're going to get to build a new device, a novel device that you're interested in. And so there's the largest component of marks for this module are included there. And there's a final reflection and summary, and then just your overall project web page will be evaluated on content as well. So if you want more information on those deliverables and the evaluation criteria, I've got a link down here to the project web page. It's just the outline on your web page. Okay, in terms of expectations, my expectation for you and my expectation for myself, first of all, is that we all put in our best effort. So it's not necessarily about how much you build. We are all coming to this module with different base understanding and competencies, and so the point isn't to necessarily do more than anybody else. The point is to learn as much as possible and to have some fun doing it. My expectation is that even though we'll be working asynchronously for some of this or most of this time, to use others as resources. So I have structured periods where I hope that you'll be available to answer questions from your peers, or you will take your questions to your peers or to me. Participate in those conversations when you do have that scheduled time, and feel free to participate even more, asynchronously using Teams as well. Let me know if there's an issue. So if something goes wrong, if you're really stuck, if you need something, if something breaks, please let me know right away, and I can find out a way to help you. And finally, don't hesitate to be creative, to try to have fun, and to ask questions when you do need help with something. All right, so that's it for the introduction. So I'm gonna log off now, and I'll see you in a few minutes on a new video where we do an introduction to your Arduino.